We begin, as always, with Coach Boynton and back-to-back home wins over Kansas State and Iowa State, sort of taking care of business, if you will. And, this time of year when you're trying to build that resume for the NCAA tournament, the wins at home are awfully important.
No question, because, it's always difficult to win on the road. And this time of year when it seems like teams play with more pressure on them as they're trying to vie for postseason, either conference tournament seeding or position in the NCAA tournament, teams play with a greater sense of urgency. And so you certainly have to, when you have an opportunity at home, to take care of business. And I'm certainly pleased with the way we played the last two games. We continue to get better while at the same time being able to get Isaac Likely some much needed rest for his foot.
The interesting piece of this, Likely, of course, didn't play in either game. You won both games, but really they were very different games. You won the games in different ways.
No question. It's something that I've been pleased and impressed with, this team, as young as they are, figuring out a way to win differently depending on how the opponent wants to try to attack us. And so, it was a grind session, if you will, against K-State, because that's the way they play. They're going to pack that lane. They're going to make it hard for you to get to the rim and not going to shoot a whole lot of uncontested shots. Rebounds are going to be hard to come by, second chance points. But we figured out a way to play good enough defense to get the job done. And then, against Iowa State, which plays totally different, specifically on the defensive end, we knew we have a lot better chance to have better flow offensively, and that we would just have to play, with a mature mindset on the defensive end so that we don't trade baskets with them. And we did so. We had great flow. We moved the ball really well. I think we had a season high in assists against them. And so certainly something that we can build on moving forward.
You were talking about the Iowa State game and what was happening on the offensive end. And as you said, that has some to do with what they do defensively. But what things maybe happened in practice after the Kansas State game that helped create that? Because, I think you could make an argument that was some of the best offensive flow you've had in a while.
Yeah, we just had a concentrated effort on really trying to figure out the ways that we're going to try to attack Cade. He didn't play against them the first time, but we had an idea with many guys back that they would try to, at least make some other guys be primary playmakers. So what we did, we countered that by making him a secondary attacker from the beginning. And even without Isaac Likely in, I think they'll just assume we just, let Cade make all the initiating of our offense. Well, the first two plays of the game, Bryce Williams was handling it and had two pretty strong assists, one to Caleb Boone on a lob and one to Cade on a kick out for three. And so that set a really good tone for us. But it's the way we had practiced to 2 days prior that gave us an opportunity to play with that much confidence.
It appears that I'm really trying to think of the right way to say this, but, Cade Cunningham sort of on the move, playing on the move offensively is most effective. In other words, maybe he is that secondary attacker. So when he gets into the lane, the defense has already moved some. He's so good at finding an open teammate, making some passes that for most are difficult, but for him seem to be second nature. It seems like when he's on the move and playing on the move, that's when he's at his best.
No question. And part of it is he's got such great understanding of how to play off of rotating defense. A lot of guys don't understand. They don't see the play until after it's happened. Well, he sees the plays as it's developing, and he knows when a team's going to be in a short closeout or when he's in a pick and roll after some movement, where the help's going to be going from, and whether he should make the pass to the guy rolling to the rim or skip to the corner because the guy's tagging at the roll to the rim. And, against Iowa State, he was sensational in his ball screen reads, and it was a large part to do with why we were able to get so many good looks.
Now we're into another strange portion of the season. The Baylor game has been postponed. So as things stand, as we do this interview, your next game is Monday against Texas Tech. Do players, I guess, at some point just get used to the fact that things can change and change in a hurry because they've had to be so adaptable?
Yeah, I think, this year has just taught them to just roll with the punches, control the things that we can control, which is when we have an opportunity to practice, try to enjoy that opportunity, try to get better, be really intentional about helping each other have success. And then when the days do come and we can play games, go out there, trust the game plan, trust each other, trust the staff, and go out there and compete as hard as we can to try to put ourselves in position to win in what is the most competitive conference in the country. And so if we don't worry about focusing on the things that are totally out of our control, that we don't even get a say-so in how those decisions are made, we'll be much better off. And I think the kids have adapted in an incredible way for guys who are very, very eager to know what the next thing that's going to come their way is. We're kind of in limbo for a few days here, but, in kind of a silver lining, maybe an opportunity for Ice to get a little bit healthier, get closer to 100% before he steps out there on the court.
Well, speaking of getting used to things, we've had crazy cold weather. We've had 2 rounds of snow, about everything that is imaginable. A lot of your players are not from this part of the country, and very few of them are from anywhere north of here. How have they adapted to this? I mean, one thing, if you're not used to this, you don't realize it takes longer to get places or to try to arrange for things. How have the guys adapted to all this crazy weather?
Well, they don't like it. They've had no problem telling us that. The deal is, I think they're experiencing something new, and that's pretty neat. But they much rather see this stuff just melt away in about 15 minutes, and so they can get back to some sunshine. We got a couple guys from south of here, Texas, Florida, and M.A. Moncrief. I think is the only one who really has experienced snow, and maybe Donovan Williams in Nebraska has, but these guys really don't like it at all.
Coming up, Jim Littell and Casey Kendrick talk Cowgirl basketball. Stay with us.
Living with joint pain. Take the first step at mercy.net/cowboysortho.
For all the ways you love to play, Academy Sports and Outdoors makes it easier than ever to get what you need and have fun out there. Get free shipping on your favorite brands at academy.com or get free curbside or in-store pickup at your Academy store.
We'll make this simple. It's time to go and get rewarded for it. The My Phillips 66 app saves you up to 25 cents per gallon of gas. That's right, up to 25 cents per gallon of gas. That means for every fill-up, you're saving money for your next adventure. That's a reward that keeps on going. The app is safe and easy. Plus, mobile pay offers fewer touch points during payment, so you can focus on going and saving. Download the My Phillips 66 app today so you can save more to go more. Phillips 66. Live to the full.
Thanks, Dave, and back with Coach Jim Littell, head coach of the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Coach, good to have you here, and man, another good week for you guys, an emotional road win, a good win at home. It's been another good week for Cowgirl basketball.
It has been a positive week. We would have liked to got the one at Texas, but to split on the road and come back and get a win against Kansas State, it's put our team in a good position to finish the season strong.
You have a couple left we'll talk about, but Coach, you guys have now done something that no other Cowgirl team has done, and that's win 12 in Big 12 play. 25 years of Big 12 play, and this is the first time you guys have been able to get 12 wins on the board. And I thought it was awesome. Obviously, you're close with a lot of former players, but Andrea Riley tweeted that she wishes she was in the arena to be able to see it in person, and then went on to say they're making a statement, and I just wish I was there, keep winning. And, it's awesome to see one of the greats realize that her record was broke and be so happy for you guys.
Well, that's what being a Cowgirl's about. Once you're part of the family, you're always part of the family, and I think kids like Andrea Riley and Tony Young and Tiffany Bias, those type of kids are always proud of what their alma mater's doing.
So this week you had a chance to get your 4th and 5th sweep, and it started in Lubbock, Texas. You'd already beaten Texas Tech once before. Talked about this being an emotional game. We knew it would be, but once again, your team went on the road. It was a really tough road trip, straight from Austin to Lubbock, a bus ride home. But your kids stayed focused and took care of business.
No, we did. There's been some hours on the bus, and the kids took care of themselves and made sure that we played well at Texas Tech. And it was important to get that second half of of the road swing after we dropped the game to Texas.
Well, and Coach, you knew that coming in you were going to rely again on a lot of different players, and this was one of those games where obviously Asbury and Natasha Mack gave you some good numbers, good effort all the way around, but you're continuing to see Lowe get better. Now, her offense may disappear for a minute, but her defense never disappears. And you see Tolly getting with more confidence. Lexi continues to give you 5, 6, 7 points. It just continues to be a team effort, especially on the defensive end.
Well, that's what we've got to do to be successful. We base our game on defense. A lot of our offense is created by our defense. So Lowe did a great job locking down on Vivian Gray, and then she had the assignment of Rachel Ranke against Kansas State and held her to 1 for 13. So she's done a really good job as of late on the defensive end.
Offensively, you cannot talk about this game and not talk about, or this series and talk about Jamie Asbury. 11 of 13 beyond the arc between the two games. 6 of 6 in the first one, 5 of second in the second one. You know, Jamie Asbury's outside shooting has become the jump she has made is really, really awesome to see, and it's all because of a lot of hard work.
No, it is. What she did in the summer, she worked with a trainer and worked almost exclusively on her shot. She's gotten so much better shooting the ball. She was in the 20th percentile last year, and the last time I looked, she was over 50% in conference games. But it's no accident. She's put a lot of time in. She didn't take a day off during Christmas break, and it's good to see somebody put in that type of work and be rewarded for it.
Talked about the defensive effort again on Vivian Gray, held to single digits, put up a lot of shots. Great job there. And then moving to the Kansas State game at home, Coach, I don't know that I ever recall a game where you only had one player on the opponent's side that made more than one bucket. And late, they had a young lady that hit her second with 56 seconds left to go. They got a second player with more than one made bucket. I mean, obviously inside Aoka Lee is a talented young lady, Big 12 newcomer of the year from last year. But besides that, boy, you guys did a great job defensively.
You know, sometimes you're not able to stop that premier player like Aoka Lee or Natasha Mack, but you need to stop the other people on the court. And our kids have done a pretty good job of that over the last few games.
You guys got your 4th, 5th sweep, as I mentioned. Now, Coach, getting ready for Iowa State and Baylor. You're not ahead to Baylor yet. You're not in that mindset. But the regular season, it's just a couple of games away, and so 2 very good opportunities to take on 2 very good opponents here in the next 2 ball games.
Now, the tough games are coming. We got Iowa State, who is a difficult matchup for us. They score in 5 positions, one of the premier three-point shooting teams in the country. Got an All-American in Ashley Jones that shows up to play every night. And then what can you say about Baylor? They're probably gonna win it again.
Coach, coming in for this week is Iowa State, but it's also senior night. And, you know, when you think about the young ladies that you have, a couple of them are JUCO transfers and obviously Abby. But as a collective group, and you think about what they just did, this group's meant a lot to the program.
They definitely had, you know, first of all, KB Sarr came in as a junior college transfer, and she's meant a lot to our team. She's a great teammate. She's done a fantastic job in the classroom, and our kids really enjoy being around KB, and she's made contributions throughout the year. Abby Winchester exemplifies what a student athlete is here at Oklahoma State. Her family's always been Oklahoma State. Abby's Oklahoma State through and through, and very proud to have her be a part of our program for 4 years. Natasha Mack, what do you say about Mack? She's been a difference changer, a program changer. She's a great teammate. Her teammates love being around her. So we've been very blessed with those 3 seniors. We also have Trevor Moyer, who's been with our program as a student assistant for a lot of years, been extremely loyal and helped us out. So it's a special night for our seniors.
And finally, Coach, on that topic, though, let's throw one more part of that out, and that is the fact that you have these young ladies that have done so well, and obviously Trevor, a part of the program, but to get you to 12 wins. But you went through one of the craziest summers we've ever had for a lot of reasons. And there was not the typical practice time and get-together time. You can't do what you did without great team chemistry, and you don't have great team chemistry unless you have great kids. So those three, when you think about even off the floor, their contribution there may have been as good as it was on the floor.
No, absolutely. And you could throw Big Al into the formula too. She's going to graduate from graduate school and won't be here next year. So those four kids are all graduating and have done a great job with chemistry, with the unity of the program, promoting our name within the community. And they've been good on the floor, but they've been great in the classroom and in the community as well.
It's been a heck of a run, though. Congratulations on the 12 wins. It's not done yet, but that's pretty remarkable to do something no other team's done in 25 seasons. I know you're very proud of your kids for that.
Absolutely, Casey. And we don't have time to enjoy it right now, but there'll be time that we can reflect back on that. Proud of what these kids have done, but we just need to continue the march forward.
No doubt about it, and the Cowgirls will try to do that coming up on Saturday, 1 o'clock inside Gallagher Ive Arena, as the Cowgirls will welcome in Iowa State. We need to get a break in. When we come back, a great story. Obviously a tragedy with the pileups down in Texas and the weather events across the country, but former Cowboy Jesse Robinson was a big part of helping some people out, and Jessica will sit down and talk to him coming up right after this.
Decorative towel.
There was a mess. I wiped up a mess.
Yeah, you
Where is the box? Never mind, I found it.
When game day is a go, there's a Bud Light there.
ADM milling is really a part of the fabric of the Enid community. So if we were to have lost them, it would have been more than the 70 jobs that they employ.
OG&E, the City of Enid, and the Enid Regional Development Alliance were all great to work with. Not only does it allow for the growth of the new mill, but also the power is there to make that happen for the future.
Welcome in. I am Jessica Morrey, and I am joined by former Oklahoma State offensive lineman Jesse Robinson. Jesse, thank you so much for joining me today on your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So it's been an eventful past few days for you. You were involved in that 133 car pileup in Fort Worth, Texas the other day. And not only were you involved, but you were able to get out of your car and help other people during that pileup. You weren't there as an EMT, but you were there to use your EMT skills to help everyone. Kind of walk me through what happened.
Well, I was going to work. It was about 6:20 in the morning or so, going in for my shift at JPS, and there was just so much ice, and my car lost control and I slid into the pile. But I was just, shocked and in daze, but I knew I could get out, and I knew I needed to do what I could to help as many people because I knew it was a big incident. So I just wanted to get in there and see what I could do to lend my assistance.
What was it like, from the point of impact to you being able to kind of realize, hey, I need to get out and help people? What was that like?
It was just, I was just going, and I knew I was going to eventually hit something, and then everything just stopped. And then I knew I needed to get out to make sure I was okay. And as soon as I knew I was okay, I just looked around and saw everything. And I was like, all right, let's go start finding these people. So I went immediately to the cars in front of me and those two people trapped in there. And I just wanted to make sure everyone was okay and get them out of the car the best we could. There was a few people trapped, so we had to wait for the fire department to get there to cut them out of their vehicles. But I went around checking as many people as I could because it was just so many cars. I just knew there was gonna, all hands on deck, either here now or when I get to work. So I better get started now.
And what was it like when, you see this and you see how many cars it is? Initially, you think, oh, it's just going to be a few, but 133 cars. And you had told me a little earlier that you had gotten injured in the wreck, but you still were able to come out and help as many people as you possibly could.
Yeah, when I got out, I thought it was just like 10 or 20 cars because where the first 18-wheeler was positioned across the highway. But then when I got over the guardrail and went down the other side, I saw that there was another 30 or 40 cars behind that. And then it just kept going for like another mile. And so I was like, oh man, all right, this is a bigger situation. We just gotta do what we gotta do to help as many people here. So that's when I just went, I put my jacket on and I saw a couple ambulances pull up and I asked for some gloves and then we just started triaging and going from there.
You spent time here at Oklahoma State playing football from 2014 to 2017 and then decided to become an EMT in 2019. What made you decide you wanted to do that?
I just knew I needed a high-paced lifestyle because of my past upcoming from football. Playing in front of so many people, I needed something to give me a little bit of adrenaline. I couldn't work a desk job. So I thought I'd follow my dad's footsteps and I went to go be an EMT to be a firefighter. And then it ended me up at a hospital. And, I'm just thankful that I had the training that I could go out there and help as many people as I could. But I had the mindset to know even if I'm hurt, I can still keep going. And that's something I learned in my days at Oklahoma State. So I'm just grateful that I could do what I could for everybody.
Well, you mentioned your time with Cowboy football. How did your experience here at Oklahoma State help you when it comes to, being an EMT? And you mentioned you're also going to nursing school.
It really just laid the foundation for me to really strive for greatness and be successful no matter what I do. And it really set me up with the right mindset of how to accomplish and tackle tasks, no matter how big or small it is, whenever you have the team together doing what you got to do, handling your role in the situation. It doesn't matter what's going on, but you can handle it. And I just really took that attitude and applied it to EMT. And now I'm working at a hospital and I'm continuing that on into becoming a nurse down the road soon. So it really laid the groundwork for me to pursue anything that I want to continue on with.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on your birthday, Jesse. I hope you have a great your birthday.
I appreciate you reaching out. Thank you, Jessica.